Hello there. Tonight's brush is my Maggard Purple Swirl Plisonish Synthetic. I think that's a 24mm knot. I'm going to set it over in the scuttle and let it warm up. And tonight's soap is RazoRock's Sandalwood for sensitive skin. This is a very lightly sandalwood scented soap, which is, it makes sense. A lot of times the essential and fragrance oils in a soap is what leads to irritation, things of that nature. And so it makes sense that they would go light on the scent. It's a good soap, just like pretty much anything RazoRock puts out. And I enjoy it quite a bit. And most of you guys know, or should know, if you watch me for any length of time, I don't have a problem with strong scented soaps. I love them, but I really like the lightly scented stuff. I actually like to, unlike a lot of people, I actually like to smell some of the underlying scent of the soap in a shaving soap. It is, after all, soap, and that's just something personal to me. So we have a new razor today. We're going to be using the RazoRock Hawk. Now I have the Feather Professional blades in here. This was a gift from Brian Lilla. You guys may have seen the unboxing video. I've never used one of these before. This is, I believe this is the first version of this razor. I think there have currently been 3 different versions. The new ones now I think are stainless steel. I think there was a brushed aluminum one at one time, but can't be sure because I'm not up on the razors. But if I recall correctly, they were well loved, and maybe are still. I don't know. But this is an all aluminum razor. It's very, very light. It is aluminum with a chrome finish. There was a version that came out, I think, at the same time as this. They gave you a black finish. I don't know if it was plated or anodized or what. But this is one of the modern single edge razors. I have not tried one of these of any stripe before. So I'm going to enjoy this, I think. So let's start the lathering process. And I have around a week's worth of growth. Probably just a day or two less than that. I'm going to wet my face. We're going to face lather. So, how's everybody? I hope everyone's good. We're doing well. We're calling for a little bit of snow tonight. This video will most likely air in 3 or 4 days. As of right now, it is Friday the 15th, I think it is. That's what my watch says anyway. Yeah, it'll air a little bit later. But they're calling for a little bit of snow tonight, but I don't think they're expecting any kind of accumulation at all. It's actually been a fairly mild winter so far, and something that is not upsetting me in the least. I don't hate winter. As a matter of fact, it's a good season for me in a lot of ways, but I don't like extreme cold, and I certainly don't like a foot and a half of snow and that kind of deal. So I'm good with this. Now, what I'm going to do, a viewer advised me of this, and this is the technique I use anyway. The best technique for finding the angle that you need to shave with is you want to lay the cap kind of flat and drop your hand until you find the angle that you want. That's a very nice, smooth shave. I thought that I might find that the lack of weight might end up being something I didn't like. A lot of times excuse me, a lot of times the weight of a razor, if it's really light, will cause me to use more pressure. Not in this case. There was also, I was talking to a friend of mine about this video coming up, and we were talking about the width of this razor, and I happened to mention that that might be an issue for me. And he mentioned, well, a straight razor is like 3 inches long. I said, yeah, but I can use just the heel, or just the tip, or just the center part of a straight razor. I don't have to lay the whole thing on my face. And one of the reasons that I stood clear of a lot of the modern razors is because of the width of that head. But that's not an issue. Because I'm finding that I can use just, right now I'm using like about that much of, about this much of the outer edges of that razor. So, and that's a wonderfully close first pass. But that seems to be a non-issue there. It's working just fine. And I am able to use just certain parts of that wide blade with that head design. So that first pass was lovely. Now, I've almost got BBS on my chin right now. So let's, here comes the true test. Is going to be against the grain and how well I can negotiate my face with that blade against the grain. But so far, that's a marvelous shave. Very nice. Nice and smooth, nice and efficient. It's cutting really nicely, really close. That's lovely. And if you hear any talking, my wife in the background, my wife was talking to her son. He lives down in Alabama, far away from us. And she doesn't get a chance to see him or talk to him as much as she would like. So, you know, I heard this razor called a straight razor on a stick. I did some research on this razor prior to this video, which I would always do on anything that I didn't know anything about. If I was going to use it on a video, it just makes sense to do. And a lot of people call this razor a straight razor on a stick. Kind of like the old Rose razor, they would call that, which literally is a piece of a straight razor blade on a stick. But I would have to agree that that is kind of the impression that I get of that razor. And that's a fantastic shave, but there is, and I know that I was not using a lot of pressure because I was self-conscious of that and mentioned that in the first pass. That's as close to BBS as I've got a right to expect. So I know that I wasn't using a lot of pressure. I didn't do a lot of buffing, but there is some irritation here. However, those are my trouble spots. Every time I use a DE or an SE, I get irritation here. The straight razor, I never have an issue with irritation, but for SEs and DEs, that is a common thing. That's not the fault of the razor. That's my skin at this point. Now, what I want to do, I haven't done this in, actually no, I was going to do a cross grain pass. Well, I'm going to do it just right on my cheeks. I just want to see what the razor is capable of. I don't do cross grain passes. I do with the grain and against the grain. And that gives me all of the shave that I need. But just for the guys that do, I'm going to try a cross grain. See what I think. Just well. Okay, that's enough. I don't have to do the whole. That's lovely. So, let me clean up. And we'll continue. That's a lovely razor in every respect. I'm really impressed with that. The cross grain pass was excellent. You can manipulate that head to do whatever you need to do, regardless of the width of that blade, that head, which I always assumed would be a problem using this type of razor. I'm glad to say that, at least with this razor, I see no issues in that regard. That's a fantastic shaving razor. I got a really nice, close, smooth shave. It's BBS now, all except here, which I never hardly ever get BBS. But that is as close as I would get with a straight razor on average. Fantastic razor. Brian, thank you. That was awesome to try. And as a post shave, I almost said goodbye. And I'm not done yet. I'm going to use St. James of London's cedarwood and clary sage. This is an after shave. They call it a post shave gel. And I like splashes. But this is a really good aftershave treatment. It's really good for things like that bit of irritation that I get with the E's and SC's. And it smells, it's St. James of London, okay? It smells phenomenal. So, wonderful stuff. Alright, that was a fantastic shave. Thanks for coming along. Bless you, and I'll talk to you later.